Hey guys, J-Man here. All right. This is a little bit late, but I only finished reading this now. I wanted to talk about Invisible Woman. So, this is a 5-part miniseries. Came out in 2019. I got the first issue physical because I was collecting Fantastic Four at the time, but I never got to reading any of it until just now. So, it's written by Mark Waid, and it talks about Invisible Woman, her being like a secret agent. So I'm not a super Fantastic Four expert. I've only in recent years been going back and starting with the Kirby, Stan Kirby stuff, reading it from the beginning. I really got into the Crystal issues when Crystal joined. And the reason I got into Invisible Woman in particular is that I got her in the Marvel Strike Force game just recently with her event came back around, and I was able to get her, and I just find her to be such a great character in that game. Now, I like Fantastic Four anyways, and anything that Kirby and Stan did in those early times is just stellar. So I figured, I had issue 1 of this, I figured I'd get the rest digitally, and because I was kind of on this Invisible Woman, kick, I thought, what the hell, let's finally get around to reading this. I thought it was damn awesome. Regardless of what you think about, Mark Waid or whatever, I thought that this miniseries was really, really well done. So this is Invisible Woman. She's like a secret agent. She's teamed up with this guy named Aiden, and it's showing some of her back missions, which is cool. And it's just kind of just learning more about Sue and her relationship with this Aiden guy. And they go on different missions, and she uses her invisibility and all that. And I want to talk more about just the concept of having Invisible Woman be on her own in this. And I think it was really neat. I almost wish, or maybe they have, and if they have, let me know if they've done. I know Ben had Marvel 2-in-1, which is one of my favorite Marvel series ever. Anytime there's a team up, the team up, of course, the team up issues, but the 2-in-1, love those. I love Ben Grimm. He was like one of my top 10 favorite characters of all time for the longest time, and he probably still is up there. I've got lots of figures and stuff. And but throughout reading Fantastic Four and going back, I really love all of these 4 characters almost equally, pretty much. And Invisible Woman has really stepped up, especially after reading this, but just even reading the newer series. And Crystal, I count her sort of as like a, kind of a backup Fantastic Four member, and She-Hulk as well. They're both really great too. I love Crystal as well. So the game Marvel Strike Force has got me, to revisit some of these characters. But anyways, back to this. That's a cool shot. I like the art a lot in this miniseries. So yeah, it's basically Sue getting called in. Aiden is missing. That's her former partner. Black Widow comes in, and she's got to figure out what happened to him. So I'm not gonna. There's actually spoilers in this, and the spoilers were good. Now this is an old series, but if you haven't read it, go back and read it. And I'm not gonna spoil it for you if you haven't. But the art is killer, the story's killer, the writing's great. I don't know, I really like this. I'm not sure what the general public thought about this, or if they're just kind of like, who cares, it's Invisible Woman or whatever. But it really made me appreciate having like Invisible Woman be on her own. I always thought of Thing as the guy who could kind of go out on his own. And I know Human Torch had his team up book as well. But I always thought that like Sue and Reed need to be together. They're like the heart and core of Fantastic Four, and they're always together. So I didn't get into reading this right away just because I thought, well, Invisible Woman being on her own is probably not going to be as interesting. And out of the 4, she may have been my, not weakest, but I guess for lack of a better word, weakest character that I didn't care that much about her. I liked her, but I wasn't like, oh man, I gotta read this Invisible Woman. I just happened to buy it just because. But I might go back and track down these issues because I don't think they're worth that much. But I love them. I just thought it was such a great series. So it's really made me appreciate Sue Storm a hell of a lot more. Plus, she's been really great in the X-Men Fantastic Four crossover that's going on right now. She's been great in that. She's been pretty darn good in the new Fantastic Four series. I have not caught up to it yet. I'm probably like 10 behind, so I'm going to try to catch up to that and give you my thoughts. But yeah, if you have not got these, get them. They're great. Great interactions with her and Black Widow. Great use of Invisible Woman's powers in this. Last time I got excited about the use of powers by a hero was with Kitty in Marauders issue 1, how they really made her powers really cool and really badass. The invisibility here, she uses every kind of conceivable version of her powers. Things I didn't know she could do. Things maybe some people didn't know that she could do. And just some kick-ass stuff. Like, she doesn't just turn invisible. We know the force fields and all that, but just the way that she describes what she can do, especially in the final issue, something happens and she starts to say like, well, here's all the several ways I can kill you. She's basically like saying, I can kill anybody anytime I want. And she lists a bunch of ways that she can kill you using her invisibility powers. And I was like, whoa, I never thought of that. So I could be overhyping this because I don't know a lot about Fantastic Four. Maybe this wasn't as good. Maybe if you're a lifelong, true hardcore Fantastic Four fan, you're thinking, well, J-Man, you're nuts. It wasn't that great. It was fine. And we've seen these powers before, so you don't know what you're talking about. If I don't know what I'm talking about, tell me in the comments so then I do know what I'm talking about for future videos. But just coming from a perspective of someone who likes Fantastic Four but is slowly growing to love them, slowly growing to perhaps getting a tattoo of the Fantastic Four or maybe one of the Fantastic Four. Right now, Invisible Woman has moved up. She's crossed Ben Grimm, but we'll see how it goes and what happens with that. But anyway, as just someone coming in who likes Fantastic Four, this really stood out as being really good. Maybe there's something better out there for me to read, so I'm happy to hear any suggestions on what I should read. But yeah, Invisible Woman stepped up big time for me in this. But yeah, really good stuff. She uses her powers a lot. She's in the Fantastic Four outfit a little bit. I always like seeing the characters in their costumes. So you didn't get a lot of that in here, but you got enough to justify it. And I think this would make, if they ever did a Fantastic Four television series, which I almost think that they should maybe do, they should maybe do a television series as opposed to standoff movies or standalone films. I think this is because Fantastic Four is a family and so many things happen. I think you really need a television series to get this going. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. But this would make a great, 2-part episode. Maybe like they could do an episode of the first few episodes would be all the Fantastic Four, and then you'd have like maybe a 1 or 2-parter for every Fantastic Four member and a little bit, of them being on their own doing something different. But regardless, great series. I'm sure it's in trade, so grab it in a trade. If you can't find the trade or the original issues, grab the digitals. It's worth it. They're on sale for like $2 or something. So yeah, check them out. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.